Yeah.
I see you've been practicing, huh?
Well, I got the book.
There you go. There you go. That was only sent to you a week ago, so you didn't master it yet.
I'm trying.
Let's take another week, and you'll be fine.
All right, good. Guaranteed results.
Sir
Vincent Lyn, that's right. Sifu Lyn is in the house.
Guaranteed results in 3 easy lessons.
Right?
Yeah.
Master. I'll be a master by then, right?
If only it was like that.
Right, I know, right? Yeah. It is so wonderful to have you here, my friend. I am honored to have you here talking movies and martial arts, and we'll get into humanitarian work a little bit later. But that's right, Movie Dojo, chat, everybody watching. Sir Vincent Lyn is here, that's right. And a shout out to Rick Myers. That's right. We were just talking about you earlier, my friend. Shout out to good old Rick. And it's funny because when you were on the 24th annual Kung Fu Extravaganza with us, that was awesome to have you with us in that event. But I think Rick mentioned that you were a Renaissance man. You've done it all, done everything. And I believe Rick also said that you were like this generation's Wong Fei Hung. You're the closest thing to it.
Whoa.
A martial artist and a healer at the same time. It is awesome.
I don't know if I want to live up to his. Oh, and there's a phone.
That's all right. Well, hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's the house phone. So yeah,
that's fine. We'll keep rocking and rolling there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for showing up today, especially with your busy schedule. But again. Let's go ahead and segue to the book here. Thank you so much for sending me this.
No, you're welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure.
In the Real World, the Lingard Legacy.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be really honest. I'm enjoying it. Oh, thank you for signing it for me too as well.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna put it up on eBay. $5,000.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. $10,000. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, well, there you go. If you can get that, then I'll send you another one. And we'll do it again.
There you go. Hey, there you go. But I'm going to be honest. I've been enjoying this book. And chat, everybody watching, I highly recommend you guys get this book. And another book we'll segue to. But this book, I'll be honest, I have not read a book in years. I'm talking like forever. And I'm already halfway through this. Oh. That's how much I'm enjoying this.
You didn't just skim through the photos?
No. Okay. I want to make sure because it's been so long since I've actually. I mean, it's been years since I've read a book from beginning to end. Yeah. I was the Cliff Notes guy in high school.
Okay.
But I am halfway through this. I'm enjoying it that much. So thank you so
welcome.
much. It's a very awesome book. Very good. I can't wait to finish the rest of it. But yeah, it's very, very inspiring too. Like I'm actually learning a few things, and it's very interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the legend himself. That's right. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. All right. So yeah, in the book, it was of course the Kung Fu lineage of Lingard is passed down to you from your uncle.
Yes, correct. So this would be my father's. My father had 2 older brothers who were lifelong martial artists, and they were interesting in the way that completely opposite. One was Gi Kyong was an instructor in the Chinese Imperial Army, and so he fought against the Japanese when the Japanese invaded southern China during World War II. So today you would consider him like, special forces, Delta, that's the type of person he was. And his brother, or my other uncle, Abak, was a sifu in both external and internal arts of Tai Chi, Qigong, and of course also the family's Kung Fu style. So here one was basically, he was a killer, and the other one was this very, very internal healer. So completely, yin and yang. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Gi Kyong. He was killed in a terrible car accident in the Caribbean. But of course, I spent lots of time with Abak, not only in the States, but in Hong Kong as well. So I was very fortunate to, in fact, I wish at a very early young age, as a teenager, I had basically taken more time to really understand and practice what he was teaching me. But, as a youngster, especially as a teenager, I was only interested in, but Bruce Lee doesn't do that, because my uncle would, be standing, in the winter in the cold outside and standing in a crane stance and looking like he was frozen. And 20 minutes later, he'd be still standing in the same position. And I'm like, Bruce Lee doesn't do that. That's slow. Why? But of course, my understanding as a teenager was very limited. But still, there were many wonderful times and lessons and experiences I had with him. And it was very well worth it. And an incredible human being. And very much part of our tribe, if you want to call it, the Hakka tribe, or Hakka is another language that's still spoken in southern China, but they call them the Wanderer, or the Wanderer tribe. And he traveled all over the world, even at a very elderly age, visiting family in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in the States, East Coast, West Coast, in Hong Kong, in China. And I think I've gotten much of my wanderer roots from him, because I've traveled so much. Wandering from place to place.
Right.
Yeah.
But and now you're teaching this the Lingar to you pass it down to your son, right?
Actually, well, my son, I've tried.
Oh, okay.
He did when he grew up in Hong Kong for most of his life. So unfortunately, I haven't gotten to pass it down, but there's still time. He's still young. So Right. But I have been teaching for decades, I was giving a Zoom class just the other night, and I was telling my father, I said, God, I can't believe I've actually been teaching for 40 years. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, that's
a little different these days, because I no longer have the school and so forth. But from seminars and things like that. I still really love to teach. Yeah,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about the book is a couple of quotes that you have in there. You talk about the history and the lineage of the style, but you also mention that all the other styles that's out there, there's good things about them, and there's pluses and minuses, right?
Of course,
but it depends on the martial arts itself, right?
Always,
because sometimes if you browse YouTube out of curiosity, you'll watch you'll see it labeled Taekwondo versus Muay Thai, right? And you just click on it just out of curiosity, right?
Right.
And the thing, and the Taekwondo guy beats the Muay Thai guy. But the thing is you don't know the skill level there, and it's like it's not, and then vice versa. Then you'll see another one where the karate guy beats the Muay Thai guy, but you don't know the skill level of the Muay Thai guy could be a novice. So it's kind of
sadly, social media has really, if martial arts always kind of had a bad rep in the past. Social media certainly hasn't made it any better. So, sadly, yeah.
Right. But again, going back to your book, one of my favorite things that you pointed out in here was you're talking about the lineage that was passed down to you, and you teaching it, and you're talking about the different techniques and stuff like that. But one thing that really stood out, and I was like, this guy, he knows. Not that you never, not way you didn't know already. You're a master.
Well, come on.
But one of the things that you said in here, and I'm not gonna say it verbatim because my memory is horrible. But you said that it's good to be well-rounded. When you said that, I was like, this guy, man, he not only does he know, he really knows.
Well,
because there are a lot of traditional martial artists out there that are just like, our style is the best, and that's it. Don't look at anybody else's styles. You know what I mean? That still kind of exists.
Sure.
But for you to say, with all that history passed down to you, but for you to still say to still improve, you still give really great advice to the martial artists that are training out there. Still improve, make sure you're well-rounded. That's amazing. That really stood out to me.
But it's funny you say that. I utilize that same kind of philosophy or the living that is. I use that in music and probably everything else in my life. That it's really important to be open-minded to other things, and same with music, certainly with martial arts, and of course, certainly in humanitarian endeavors, being open-minded to just different cultures, languages, food, people's, just how they treat others. I mean, if one is not open-minded, then certainly shouldn't be doing the work at all. Yeah.
Right. No, that's very well said. Very well said. Yeah. And it's just I'm learning a lot from your book, especially when you in certain segments you break down certain techniques and stuff. It's very interesting. Because,
Thank you.
I I have a karate background, but I am by no means an expert. I am no.
Okay.
But
so no samurai, warrior lineage.
No.
Okay.
I just have fun with the name. That's about it.
It's cool.
But I took a little Thai boxing here and there and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Just very little. No, by no means an expert. But it's interesting because of the parrying and traps. Trapping your opponent is very interesting because normally, if someone's going to attack, or everyone's just going to block like this. Or put the cage up, right? That's just like a normal reaction, right? Or if I try to do a hook on you or something like that, I'm expecting you to block it
to cover it,
right?
Yeah.
But I would never expect you to, trap my arm and then hit me in the throat. That would be like the last thing I would expect a person to do to me. You know what I mean? Because everyone thinks in kind of MMA style fighting, right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting when you broke down the techniques of trapping the jabs and the hooks and doing counters or attacking at the same time.
Yeah.
The throat eyes or the groin and stuff like that, and elbows, short distance elbows is very very interesting. I was like, I like this.
Well, I think it's one of the big misconceptions with. Many martial artists or non-martial artists, we look at MMA as obviously the major sport today. Right. But I use the word.
I'm a huge fan. I watch.
But it is a sport.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's a sport, and I certainly have great respect for the competitors' athleticism. Right. The training they have to go through, just like a professional boxer. Of course, it's very, very high level athleticism and skill. Right. But you can't. It's a sport. It has rules.
Right.
When you take that outside, and it's a completely different thing. We talk about grabbing someone's larynx or gouging the eyes or whatever it is, biting, spitting. So it's we can't compare, and when people shouldn't, but people still do, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, all kinds of great techniques was in there. I was really enjoying that and learning as I read. And so it's really fascinating how long you've been taking martial arts, and teaching martial arts is really a fascinating thing. And already I've just pulled the groin by just watching looking at the photo of you kicking. I've pulled the groin.
I just got kicked in the face there.
I could not when I was even in shape taking karate back in the day. I could not get my leg up that high. But yeah, it's very fascinating. So if anyone's interested, definitely I highly recommend you guys check out the book, buy it. It's very fascinating, and I can't wait to finish it. And Samurai will not be doing that by the end of the read. But
and when we did that shot at Sifu Alex Richter's Wing Chun school, actually in New York,
yeah.
I have to give him a name there. We didn't use any springboard or a trampoline. I jumped.
Of course you didn't, because it's you. Oh yeah, but Alex has actually been on the show. He's actually been here several times, wonderful. Talking movies with us. So
great guy. Yeah,
a kung fu genius.
My kung fu brother. Yes. Yeah. And I'm telling you, he knows his art. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I'll probably get him just one-on-one in the future. But he's showing up on our Versus series, talking about movies, having fun with us. So great. But yeah, shout out to Alex. But this, I found this on your YouTube channel here. This was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Where was this here?
It's funny. Wow, that's when we're just talking about that. I think before we started, you were talking about Kung Lee, and this was at the Kung Fu World Championships in Rome, in Italy.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say 5-6 years ago. So yeah, I was.
There's a lot of people. It was huge people.
Yeah, a beautiful arena and so forth. Yeah, Cynthia was there. Kung Lee was there. But yeah, I was demonstrating Wudang Tai Chi. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was very nice. It was very beautiful. And the crowd loved it, and they were taking photos. It was a huge, massive.
Yeah, throwing tomatoes, cucumbers. No, not cucumbers, please. rotten tomatoes on that white uniform would be awful.
Oh man. But going back to a little bit of the you got the traditional serious martial arts, the eye gouging, the straight to the chin and the nose bridge and all that, which is awesome. But I found out also that you actually were a kickboxing champion as well.
Yeah, I was.
That's awesome. That is awesome. For about what made you want to jump in there?
I wanted to
kind of testing yourself.
You said it, in no other ways, and I got to train with Don the Dragon and Bill Wallace,
Superfoot.
Don is a good friend. We've done lots of traveling around the world. So all good people, all good peers, and great friends.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I think it's again, it comes back to the point of cross training. You try things to see, okay, does this work in this situation? Does it not?
Right.
And then if you get yourself in real fights, and I mean life and death, not the odd punch up, and then you realize, many things don't necessarily work. Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Hey, a lot of masters don't want to get in there and mix it up. You know what I mean? So you've proven yourself.
Yeah, well,
and that's awesome. Hey, you're a champ.
But none of those things compare to my kind of experiences in the field. Right. Yeah, because it's a whole different, a whole different thing. You can't really do too much if someone's shooting at you, Yeah.
Yes. I seen a photo with you between two guards, and you were wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So, but we'll get into all that a little bit later. But you very well said. But let's back it up here a little bit, and a little bit more lighthearted fun here.
Oh, good.
So what made you want to? We'll get to the serious stuff later.
You're getting way too serious now.
Yeah, it's all good though. It's important to talk about. So what made you want to become a model? What made you get into modeling?
Well, I guess at the time I thought, well, I have the right height, I have the right physique, Oh, please. Oh, no, you did. I
Hey,
can't
look at
believe
that.
it.
Hey,
I can't believe it.
No, this is the one. No, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's
There's
better.
styling.
That's
There you
it. That's
go.
better. Yeah.
The best one this is the best one now.
Oh, no. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Actually,
difference.
that was an ad for Gucci glasses. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was an
What
ad
a
thing.
difference a day
But,
makes.
yeah, that was shot in.
24 hours.
Hey, I could say don't quit your day job, but whatever. Yeah. Actually, you sounded a little like the King. When I say the King, Elvis. A little.
Oh, all right. Hey, I'll take it.
Maybe one measure or two.
Bootleg Elvis. I'll take it.
Oh, baby.
But yeah, and then just your musical background.
Yeah.
You just really, and this is one of your songs. You had like some top 10 canto pop songs.
That's correct.
Like some top 10 hits.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So again, in your book, you were talking about how you were just as fascinated with music and learning the piano and learning learning music just as much as kung fu. So what made you jump into musicianship? You were just like, I'm hooked. I'm just in love with this.
Well, this is because I've been doing them. The martial arts and music parallel my life. Obviously the martial arts from my father's side of the family, and music from my mom's side. Yeah. My mom was my first piano teacher. Her and her sister were an actual teenage duo act that had their own radio show for the BBC. So they were both very prolific musicians.
Nice.
From a young age, and played, I think, between them, they played like 9 instruments. Well,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
And I just like bootleg the drums. That was it. Bootleg.
Yeah, that's what I
not even play the drums well. Just
I tell my father, he plays the radio very well.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. And I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I think just, returning to the modeling, it wasn't something that I thought very much of. I kind of segued into it and, had done a little, but it wasn't really until Hong Kong, from starting in the film industry, that I was able to break into getting signed with Elite. And of course, Elite is the most famous modeling agency in the world. So and doing music in Hong Kong. So all these things kind of segued because of the film, because of doing film, I should say. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's all. Speaking of film.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into the action genre or stuntman? And what made you, what did you have a certain love and passion for films? And you were like, I wanted to be a part of this at some point, or it just happened?
Well, it didn't just happen. I would say that, at least at the time, during that golden age of Hong Kong cinema, I think it was probably every martial artist's dream to do these films.
Sure.
And it might be, they're certainly not as big now, but I'm sure if you ask most stuntmen, martial artists / they would probably say the same thing today, I'm sure, So, yeah. And I was a big fan of watching all the Shaw Brothers. I would, while in university in Boston, I would go down to the combat zone, Chinatown, and spend a whole weekend watching these films. So, I kind of grew up on Shaw Brothers, and then of course Golden Harvest and Bruce Lee, young Jackie Chan and stuff. So yeah. So of course there was something in my subconscious, but the question is, how is it going to happen? Yeah.
Right.
How does a door open? Who will someone open the door, or do I have to break the door down, or so yeah.
Right.
So I guess initially I was fortunate. A friend who was a well-known photographer in New York said, have you ever thought of going to Hong Kong to do action film? And I said, yeah, but, he said, well, I have a friend who's an art director. He says, maybe I can drop a call. He said, but you'd have to take the trip there and take your photos, take your portfolio, and see what happens. And that's what I did. I got on a plane and tried my luck. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, let's go over some of your films here. Let's take a look at some of them here. Brotherhood.
I don't know why. It's so funny. I did an interview with Alex, and he went through the list from IMDb, and he just went to IMDb, which I'm assuming you might be at, and he just went down. He went down the list from the top to bottom, and like the first couple of films, because Brotherhood, I believe, was shot in, I think it was done in '85. I don't even know why that's on my IMDb.
Oh, okay.
So there are a couple of films that shouldn't even be on that list. Yeah.
We will skip that.
Brotherhood is one of them. I think that was with Jao and Phat. Yeah.
Okay, so
we should start with Tiger Cage.
Okay.
So,
yeah, let's do that. Definitely, this is a Yuen Woo-ping classic. Chat, Movie Dojo Army, everybody watching. If you have not seen Tiger Cage, go out and buy it on DVD. Try to find the Blu-ray. Yeah, Tiger Cage is phenomenal. This is a lot of people rank this as up there as like one of Yuen Woo-ping's best work.
Yeah,
and you were phenomenal in it. I mean, you got Donnie Yen in here, Simon Yam, Jackie Chung's in here. How was it working on that movie?
It was great. Actually, speaking of, you talk about Blu-ray, but 88 Films are redoing that.
Oh, great!
Yes, they are going to redo that, and I heard that's
we're getting exclusive info here today.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Good. I'll be buying it.
Okay.
I'll definitely be buying it. But yeah, how was it working on Tiger Cage?
It was tough. It was tough. Here I get to be on this, really, the Yuen Woo-ping's comeback film, because obviously we know he's the one who started Jackie Chan's career with the first Drunken Master and Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, and he hadn't done films in a while, but this was his comeback film, and he used, as you know, every major star in Hong Kong, and of course a very young Donnie Yen. I think it was Donnie Yen's second film after doing Drunken Tai Chi, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a very young Donnie, like me. I was young. So yeah, and then he even brought back some of the very famous Shaw Brothers stars like Wong Lung Wai and Beardy,
Yeah, Beardy.
Yeah. So it was an incredible experience, but it was a humbling experience. Yeah, humbling experience, because I was raw. I didn't know how to do all these like dumos and reactions, getting punched and flipping and landing on your back and all this crazy stuff. I had never done this kind of stuff before, so it really was humbling. Yeah, but
you got your feet dirty in that one.
I did. Yeah, but they were patient, and
nice.
Yeah, they were patient, and Yuen Woo-ping was a pleasure to work with, and wonderfully he wrote the foreword in the book you're reading.
Yes, I did read that. That was really awesome of him to do that. But yeah, you were phenomenal. You were phenomenal in this. I mean, this was just badass martial arts fight sequences.
So there you go. That turn and flip and landing on the concrete.
Right.
That experience was awfully painful, because what happened, I had never done anything like that before, and they put what they call the turtle shell on my spine, and they had the mats out on the concrete, and that was in Central Square, on Hong Kong side, right? And they said, okay, make sure when you land, don't forget to turn and face the camera. So they had a camera right on the ground. So I had to act like I was in pain, which I don't think was going to be, and then look at the camera and then react.
Right.
And the first time I did it on the mats, it was perfect. Then they took the mats away, and I had to land on the asphalt, right? On the pavement.
Yeah.
And I landed. I did perfect. My head was tucked. but I forgot to look at the camera.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gotta do it again.
So I had to do it again. And of course, when I did it again, I landed wrong. And of course, I landed right smack hard, flat out on my back, you know. And I looked at the camera, it worked. So that's the shot they took. You know?
All right. Oof, man.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, like 5 takes or?
Yeah, something like that. Oof. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah. And actually, Donnie Yen doubled for Jackie Chung. You know, the Zheng Hong Yao, the well-known who they call the Michael Jackson of Hong Kong. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Copy that. I enjoyed Donnie Yen's fight with Michael Woods in that movie. That was entertaining.
That was a great fight.
Yeah. But your character, very imposing, just a great villain. This was probably my introduction to you.
Yeah, you like using that shot. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll keep it going here. I'm having fun talking about your movies. Now this, I love Richard Norton and love Cynthia Rothrock, and I'm a fan of their movies here in America. There's something about their movies in Hong Kong and their fight scenes in the Hong Kong movies. It's just, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
You know, and this movie, there's a lot of Cynthia Rothrock fans out there that are more familiar with her American stuff that don't know about The Blonde Fury.
Yeah.
And I have this DVD.
Wow, you're one of the lucky ones, because if you go online and check how much that costs, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Yeah, I've seen it as high as like $600.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it really is insane. That is one movie that 88 Films needs to redo.
That's right.
I always feel it's, besides Yes, Madam, I think it's a toss between Yes, Madam and Blonde Fury. Cynthia's definitely best.
Yeah, best really
work.
Good, really good. So Frank Jang, shout out to Frank.
Frank,
you know what you need to do, Frank. Let 88 Films know. Come on.
Yeah, you got to get this. I'm amazed they haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Eureka. Let them know, Frank. But yeah, this is a great movie. Definitely one of her best. And really great fight scenes in here. I enjoy the fight between you two. Was just slam bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Just very exciting. And she was great in the movie. And man, you guys really did that hurt right there?
Oh, there's always a famous story behind that shot when she did the scoop kick, because actually the shot before it is when she does her famous scorpion kick, you know, when her leg comes over, hits me in the head.
Yeah.
But that shot, it's always the famous story that, you know, I put the supporter on, I put the cup on, it's still smarted, and then they ended up doing is unraveling toilet tissue. And I basically stuffed it down my pants, you know, trying to soften the blow. Yeah.
It still hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, of course it did. I've never been the same since. Yeah.
Oh boy. But
that's why I only have one child, one son.
That's it.
Yeah.
Great pick here between you two. Where was this at?
I believe. Oh, wait a minute. I believe that is in Cape Verde.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Cape Verde. I believe
she's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cynthia here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other movies I click on, you just say skip because you don't want to talk about it. It's like no, we'll just keep it going. So they have you down here for Miracles.
Yeah, doing stunt.
Okay, so you're doing most of the stunt work.
Yeah.
All right. I enjoy this movie.
It's a great
film. What was some of the stunts that you were doing?
It was all like background. You know, I'll tell you something interesting about doing stunt work behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Is that many times you're called in to double, right? Somebody else. And I'm 6'2", so who am I going to be doubling?
Right.
You know, am I gonna be doubling Billy Chow? There's no need to double Billy Chow. So many times they'll have you do something for the sake because they brought you in that day.
Right.
Yeah. When there really is no need.
Right.
And that happened on Condor, where someone would double me, meaning let me take a rest. I'll say, but there's no need for someone to double me. And I said, the guy's like 5'8", you know, it's going to look ridiculous. Yeah. And that happened a lot. And it's same thing on Miracles. Yeah. They bring you into maybe to work, maybe not. Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Very, very, I think it's an underrated Jackie Chan flick. I think it's a very good movie. But with this movie, again, it's just more experience for you, right?
Yes. And in the first, I would say, first maybe couple of years, so my first year and a half of being in Hong Kong, it was just getting your feet wet, you know, getting to know how the rhythm of how action choreography works. And, you know, and if just the first two films, I got to work with two of the best guys, you know, Yuen Wo-ping and then Yuen Kwai, Corey Yuen.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody thinks actually Blonde Fury was directed by Man Hoi, but Blonde Fury was shelved for more than a year.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. It was shelved for more than a year. And then they decided bring in another action director. They brought Corey Yuen, and they wanted to beef up the ending fight scene, and that's why Jeff Falcon and myself got called in, you know, to add to the ending and a few other scenes in the middle. Yeah, kind of introducing our persona. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that happened because the action sequences at the end are really good.
Yeah. I don't think. Go ahead.
Live Hard.
Yes. Yeah.
You got more
interesting name.
Again with Simon Lamb again.
It's not a porn film. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, I know. Oh, dear.
How was it working on this one?
Well, that was Yuen Wo-ping's brother, Yun Chan-yan, who did that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And there's Dan Mintz in the back next to me. Nice. I'm trying to. Oh God, she should kick me if I can't remember the Australian actress who starred in it. Come on, help me there.
I'm fired too.
You're okay.
Too, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
She's awesome though, but the name I can't think right now.
Yeah, and that was where I first met Wang Zhongli, my favorite of all kickers.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So,
and great story because he came up to me and he says, I heard you are a good kicker. And I said, you know, I'm pretty good. I can hold my own. He says, do you have good control? And I said, yeah, my control is good. I said, it's not like yours. I said, but I think my control, you know, is pretty good. Yeah.
That is awesome. You got to meet him, man.
Yeah.
Man. I saw his video. What was it? The Art of High Impact.
Yeah, that's it. Art of High Impact Kicking. Yeah.
I was just like, again, I pulled a groin by just watching. I didn't even try.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is insane. Was that true that someone challenged him at some point and it just didn't go well? Like he was teaching us, and then some guy came in.
It probably did. Knowing Wang Zhongli, yeah. It's like, why would you even go there with that? You know.
I know, right? Like, why even bother, right? Why challenge that guy? Yeah, that guy's phenomenal, man. That's awesome that you're a fan. You got to meet him. How cool is that?
Yeah, you know, this is keep going. I'm not going to cut you off.
I'm having a blast here. I'm having a blast. This is one of my favorites. Outlaw Brothers, man.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think, in your opinion, do you think this is Yukari Yoshima's best movie? With her as the star and lead.
Probably.
You think that's her best movie or top
I mean, definitely. Probably one of the top. Yeah, maybe the best one. Yeah. It certainly just showed her skill and I mean, of all the, you know, it's always for me personal. I love Cynthia. She's like my femme fatale partner, travel partner. You know, it's like my sister. You know, but it's a toss up between Yukari and Cynthia in terms of favorites who I work with. You know, and
that's awesome.
And it's a tough one. Yeah,
Yukari's she's very nice to work with. She's easy to work with. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
very nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You've got some shots here. There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
You got you modeling again. That's right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing double the work. You're doing double the work.
Double the work. Yeah. Well,
There
that
you
was
go.
an
There you go.
interesting shot, because here we were on this yacht in the Hong Kong harbor, and we were on this thing all day long, and the yacht was just sitting there, kind of floating back and forth, and Steve Tartaglia, who's standing next to me, he just, I mean, he couldn't keep anything down. He was throwing up all day
Oh my
long.
goodness.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, badass fight sequences, phenomenal stuff. Very, 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 very entertaining. And yeah, she is one of my favorites. She's kind of been rising actually for me, and on my favorite female martial artist. She's actually been going up the chain recently. Like, I had her at like top 10. She's like in the top 10 somewhere. Now she's like maybe my top 5. Like, she's been, Yukari's been.
Yeah, they need to again. Hey, Frank, you need to do that film too. Come on.
That's right. Come on, spread the word. 88 Films, Eureka. You know what to do.
But I think, look, I'm amazed all of the films that they have done. I mean, it's a great thing, because there's number one, there's such a niche and a call for it, and there's a whole new generation that love these films. So hey, why not re-release all of them?
I know we're just so spoiled because they've been doing such a good job.
Yeah,
both companies that were just like more, but it's all good.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's on the list here. Great behind-the-scenes shot right here.
Yeah,
everyone. We got some Frankie Chan, another phenomenal martial artist. Loved him in The Prodigal Son.
No relation to Jackie.
Yes, no relation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
actually, Jackie showed. It was a few days we were filming. There's a scene where I'm driving the car with Dan Mintz. He showed up on the set a bunch of times to kind of help out, as you see right there. Yeah, it was quite amazing. He showed up on the set. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah,
just to kind of help with the fight choreography a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's the the big brother, right? He's the Dai Gore. So you've got to, if he shows up, everybody's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and let him take take the leading role. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Speaking of Cynthia, how was it working with Cynthia Khan?
Cynthia Khan, yes, I love that film. That was an interesting film. That was probably like midway through when my kind of career kind of went up in many, not just in film, but in modeling and other things. So television commercials and stuff. So yeah, that was really great. And the interesting thing about that was if you watch the film, right, for the first 30 minutes, every other scene, I'm in it. Every other shot, I'm in the scene. So it would seem like, okay, this actor, myself, has this major role, and I was supposed to be in the last, all the way through the film up until the end fight scene. And they basically, they got to where I get killed, and they just really had no idea what to do with me.
Oh no.
Yeah, because like in Hong Kong, the scripts are kind of made up as they go along, or they don't have a script, and so they thought, oh well, we don't have any idea what to do, we don't know where to go, so we'll just kill him. Yeah. It's really what happened.
Were you at least killed on screen?
Oh yeah. I was
okay, good.
Yeah, but it's so bad the way I get kind of taken out by these, like, a couple of goons in an alleyway,
Yeah.
And I'm drunk and what have you. So but hey, that's all. It's part of the experience. Yeah. And I got to go to Seoul, Korea. Yeah.
Oh, there
There you go. Yeah.
Undeclared War.
Yeah.
Do you remember this one?
I do. Yeah.
Vernon Wells.
I haven't. Yeah, Vernon Wells
the
and
Road
obviously.
Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, but and David Hedison was in it from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
And you got Danny Lee and Rosamund Kwan.
And directed by Ringo Lam, and I believe it was the first sync sound film that was shot in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Point of No Return.
Man, you really are going through the list.
A little bit.
Another one with Jackie Chung and Joey Wong.
Yeah. How was it working on this one?
That was fun. Yeah, it was real fun to work on that.
Sorry, Vincent's in the back there somewhere, guys.
Yeah. He's right. You the Phat Samurai's covering his face. Yeah. Even Ken Lo was in that.
Oh, he's in that. All right, I still need to watch that. Nice. Yeah. That's another phenomenal. What do you think of his kicking skills?
Well, here's a funny story. The first time I ever met him, I was in Hot Gossip, which was the disco club, hot spot to be in Hong Kong, in Jinsajie. So all the models, all the actors would go there. All the Cathay Pacific, Japan Airlines flight crew would go there, and dance the night away. We'd spend like 4 nights a week there. So then, girlfriend was introducing me. This was in the early days in Hong Kong, and she says, "Oh, I want you to introduce you to someone, who's works alongside Jackie Chan and so forth." So I turn around, and this is in the middle of the discotheque. I turn around, and Kenny Lo's foot is in my face. And it was basically, what I did was I grabbed his foot, and I was shaking like we're shaking hands. Yeah.
I'm sure that made him laugh.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's funny.
I know.
Perfect introduction to that guy.
I know, really. And that's when we met. That's how we met.
It doesn't get any better than that. How funny is
that? But that was like, oh my goodness, that was like at least 3 years before I worked on Condor. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Now this is a huge fan favorite over here in the States. King of the Kickboxers.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh,
I know. Go ahead.
I remember this picture right here, this poster. I remember going to the video store, and my video store actually had a kind of a cardboard cutout of Billy Blanks and
Lauren Avedon.
Yeah, kicking each other. So I never forgot that.
I just spoke to Lauren Avedon a couple of 3-4 days ago. We had a long conversation. Yeah.
Nice.
Because he,
get him on the show one day. But that's another fan favorite. Great fights in that. You got Keith Cook in
Keith
that
Cook
movie.
And Jerry Trimble.
Keith.
Former PKA. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
With the badass in the background there. That's right.
There you go. Wow, man. You pulled up all these photos, man. I haven't seen these photos in decades.
Hey, that's what I do.
Yeah, it is what you do.
I'm not making you feel old, am I?
No.
But I actually met Keith Cook. I got his autograph at a martial arts convention. He was there. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. But he's another phenomenal kicker as well.
Yeah, he is.
How was it working with Samo?
Touch and go. Oh, that was one I didn't do. So that's another IMDb mistake.
All right, so that person's fired.
It's really strange. IMDb is really strange. Yeah, and then if you try to change anything or take anything down, it's like it's impossible. Yeah,
it's like a hassle.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Oh my
so
goodness.
I don't even bother.
All right, we'll move on here.
Yeah, move on. Must be Robotrix. Oh no, that's they call it Eastern Heroes, but it was also called
Fury in Red.
Fury in Red, yeah. Conan Lee, yeah.
How was it working on this? Is it kind of a cop action thriller we got going here?
Yeah, and I play a Vietnamese mafia boss. Yeah,
I can dig it. That's right.
You can dig it, yeah. Vietnamese, average Vietnamese man is about 5'4", and I'm standing on stilts. But that was actually, I had a lot of fun working on that film. Yeah.
Nice. Were you the main villain or what? Or
yes.
Like one of the?
Nice. Yeah. But the interesting. Well, I'll tell you the story behind it. Again, I was supposed to, because Robin Shaw was in that, right?
Okay.
So I was supposed to go all the way through the end, but I had started Operation Condor, and Jackie calls up. The director also spoke with Wong Lung-Wai and said, "Look, Vincent's working on my film. I can't take the chance of him getting hurt.
Right.
So whatever you have in mind, shut it down, kill him off. And so the scene where I get killed again, which is when you watch it, you're like, you kind of, why? How did that happen? Why? What's the point? You know, I get kicked and thrown in the ocean.
That's it.
And of course it was a stunt double, and it's very obvious. Yeah.
Right. But Jaws got you. Jaws came.
Jaws. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, this is how things worked in Hong Kong. Yeah. And you know, of course, Operation Condor was the most important film, certainly the most expensive in Hong Kong history at that time. So it took precedence over everything. So yeah,
that's how it is. That's how it is.
And I was working on Robotrics as well. There you go. I spoke too soon. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got a chance. Was it similar? You got pulled away, or you got a chance to finish it?
I again, because I was working on this, Fury in Red and Condor, and there was a period where I was actually going from a 5-day period where I was going from one set to the other set to the third set. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I cannot wait to rewatch this. I haven't seen this in years. It's been a long time.
Well, you want to wait, and I'll tell you. You want to wait because I already did the interview with 88 Films for the for the new release. Yeah.
Okay,
I've already done the interview. Yeah.
I'll be buying that one definitely, especially with the remastered picture. But I remember this being a lot of fun. That's all I remember is that it was fun, wild, over the top. RoboCop meets Terminator, Hong Kong style. That's it. That's all you need.
And of course, you know, and they bring Billy Chow in as the great villain. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
That's a shot right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But fun. I just remember it being fun, over the top, fun, just a wild ride. And got my man right there. And
there's my man with my eyes closed. Yeah,
you look sleepy there.
Oh, I really do. Yeah. Well, you know, that's interesting. This is a technique I learned, believe it or not, from Michelle Yeoh. And I met her with Rick Myers actually at the premiere in New York of Super Cop.
Nice.
And you know, here we are taking these kind of like, you look at some of the photos and, you know, we're making strange faces or eyes closed or you know, whatever. But it was interesting because she had this skill, this technique where no matter where the camera was, always was perfect. Her smile was perfect, teeth, everything was perfect. And I don't know how she knew where, you know, because so many cameras are going off at once. But every photo was like this perfect photo of her. And I'm like, God, how'd she do that? You know, it's like, so it's a great technique. Yeah. And I can't know if I say I learned it from her, but I watched her so much, like always, no matter where the camera was, boom, it's right there. That split second that the camera catches her great smile, you know.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
So I've gotten way better. No more eyes closed.
No more eyes closed. Boom. Let's talk about the big one right here.
And that's the 88. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is a Jackie Chan classic. It's just a phenomenal movie. When it was released over here in the States, went to go see it, obviously, Jackie Chan fan. And everybody in the theater had an absolute blast watching it, you know, on the big screen, the audience. And when it got to your scene, though, the wind tunnel sequence, the audience was dying, laughing, and cheering. They were having so much fun, and it was just so good. It's one of his best. So how was it working on this one?
Whew. Well, again, humbling, and from the first moment, I thought, gee, after, you know, like nearly 20 films in Hong Kong, I thought, okay, I've got all this experience under my belt. This is just another film. Okay, yes, you're going to be working with the, you know, the tiger on the mountain here, but it shouldn't be a problem. And I remember, you know, the first shot, working back and forth with Jackie, I felt like I had two left feet. I really felt like I couldn't do a damn thing, you know. And what had happened was his stunt team came over and working out choreography. So for 30 minutes, I'm figuring out this sequence, and I feel comfortable with it. Jackie comes over, takes a look at the choreography and says, no good. I want to do this. So here I was, a wasted 30 minutes trying to learn all these moves. And he's now just making it up on the spot, you know. So it was like, it's amazing how quickly you had to adapt to learning choreography on the spot, you know, and doing it. Yeah. So again, it was humbling. Yeah, very humbling, but an amazing experience, of course, you know, one that I will take with me, you know, when I'm really old and I can look back at it and go, God, that's not me anymore. That's not me. Even if I look at it now, I say, oh, no. There's no way you're tying me up in a wire and catapulting me through the air. No, I'm not doing that. No, I don't care how much you pay me.
Yeah. But I remember you mentioning on the, when you were during the 24th Kung Fu Annual Extravaganza, I remember you mentioned that it took like, just for that wind tunnel fight sequence finale alone,
39 days.
39 days, right?
Yeah, I always remember. I never forget the number. I was counting it every day in my calendar, checking it off. Actually, more so because I was getting paid every day, you know.
But man, that's dedication. But look at the result. Look at the result. It's one of the most entertainingly funny, badass, hard hitting, and just it's just so entertaining.
Well, it's also listed in Jackie Chan's book, I Am Jackie Chan, as his top 10 best fight scenes of all time. So it's pretty,
It has, it has to be. It has to go there because it's just so good. Yeah, so good, and of course, just so many funny moments. Like this,
boink, honk.
Hilarious moments. But you guys get down and dirty too, though. It's not just comedy. Yeah. And
there's Kenny Lowe again, always, you know, using Kenny because they couldn't find another Westerner to play the role. So got to bring Kenny in and dye up his hair, make him look a little Westerner.
Yeah. And of course, you know, with great success comes the bumps along the road. And
that's real. That's not the film being turned upside down. I literally really am hanging upside down.
Oh man. And what did you say? It was a serious injury, right?
Yeah, that being catapulted through the air. Yeah. Right. Hitting one of those slats.
Man. Yeah. So what did they do? Did they just wrap you up and say you're good?
They didn't give me any qigong or acupuncture. No. they gave me a
Flintstones Band-Aid. Go back to work.
No Flintstones vitamins. No Flintstones Band-Aid. They just gave me some duct tape.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, but still, it's the results are great, and it's a fan favorite. Everybody loves it, and I became even more of a fan of you from Operation Condor, and you know, it looks like everybody had a blast. Working on the movie. That's a great shot behind the scenes there. What a fun movie and a fun time and a fun classic now. Remastered by 888 Films for the new generation to enjoy as well. So 88 Films, hit me up. You know,
come on now.
I'm the guy. Right?
Yeah.
But you know, it's just what a phenomenal career and legacy that you have, and you know, we're gonna switch the tone up a little bit. We've been laughing and having a good time going down memory lane, but
do I need my handkerchief?
When did you? Let's talk about your your humanitarian work and what at some point during your career did you get the call? You got the calling, like this is what you need to do.
Well, my first experience was actually in Hong Kong. I was in Thailand. I was doing actually a modeling shoot for Puma. So it happened early, but and it was an experience. Basically, a family I had met wanted to sell me their daughter for a fee of $400.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I was, kind of flabbergasted and in shock, as anybody would be. And of course, I did not buy the daughter, and I found a way to make sure that the family kept the daughter. And, it was, I stayed in touch with the family for many, many years and helped them financially so that they could put the daughter through school and so forth. But, that was my kind of first experience in this kind of world, completely foreign to me and foreign to most anybody. But it didn't hit me until back in January of 2015. And I was doing executive protection, close protection work in Ghana, in West Africa, for VIP family from Sweden. And I was introduced. We were visiting a shelter where children had just been rescued from child slavery. And and they were like 15 children from the ages of like 5 to early teens, mostly boys, a few girls. And for me, I've told this story many times, but for me, it was the look they had in their eyes. It was, you could see the trepidation, the terror, their eyes were like sharks' eyes. They were emotionless. It was the fear, and that, I started getting teary-eyed, and here I'm supposed to be doing this, job doing close protection, and I had to look away. But that look has always been there. And I wanted to somehow, I don't know, make a difference, get involved in this kind of work, humanitarian work. I had no idea how that was going to happen. Basically, like many things I've done in my life. But it took me all around the world, from, many parts of the Middle East, from Iraq to Iran, to Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, and of course through Central Africa, from east to west, Uganda, South Sudan, Nigeria, Ghana, and then I formed the foundation I have called We Can Save Children back in the beginning of 2017. Yeah,
right. And this is this is all in your book, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Can you show the book?
Sure.
That way, chat and everybody watching, there we go. Childhood Lost. There we go. Make sure you go out and support Vincent and get that book.
It's in Barnes and Noble. You can get it.
There we go.
Yeah. Nice. I hate selling myself. God.
Oh, you just letting people know about it.
Yeah, I know.
That.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for everybody watching, so that way they get a little bit more better understanding of what you do, Vincent. And we appreciate what you do, my friend. So let me go ahead and click this. Here we go, guys.
In 2011, the Syrian conflict began.
This proxy war has raged on,
fueled by political agendas around the world. Not since World War II has the earth seen such a destructive and bloody conflict, destroying this once beautiful country, desecrating ancient archaeological sites of antiquity. This terrible war has displaced and killed millions of Syrian nationals, torn families apart, and destroyed the lives of over 2 million Syrian children. And it's these children that I am so concerned about. A whole generation abandoned to refugee camps. For me, the fight to save children and defend their human rights began 6 years ago. I was doing security work in Africa. We visited a children's shelter where children had been rescued from child slavery. Watching these children, I was struck by the look in their eyes. The innocent children who pleaded for the most basic human dignities: safety, food, clothing, shelter, education, and the hope of a brighter future. I founded WeCanSaveChildren.org, and our work has taken us to Ghana in West Africa, across East Africa to Uganda, into Thailand, and most recently now into the Middle East, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq.
Right now, 13 million people, half of which are children, have been displaced. 6.7 million have crossed borders by sea, by land, and most, fleeing the violence, have gone to neighboring countries. And then you have up to 200,000 children that have now been orphaned.
I'm heading over to the International Federation of Peace and Sustainable Development across from the United Nations. They will help to shed some light on the full extent of the Syrian crisis.
Hello, Vincent. How are you? So good to see you. Please have a seat. Thank you for coming. It's good to have you here.
Nice to see you again. So my first question is, do we know at this point how many families have been displaced in Syria?
As the latest statistics, it was 2.6 million children are displaced inside Syria, while around 2.5 million children are living outside.
I mean, do you believe there's a plan in place for the future of Syria, the future of the people?
You know, I have personally went and visited. I went to the camps and I went to Lebanon. There's a lot of children have no education, none whatsoever. You would see them just roaming around the streets, no hope, no purpose, nothing. The refugees. It is really, really sad to see what's going on. When you see it firsthand, it's very difficult, and you have seen that because the kids are just lost. They've seen nothing but war. So there's many problems, many problems. Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
I'm asked the question, what can we do? And this is why I set up my foundation, WeCanSaveChildren.org. I'm receiving donations right now, donations of clothes, donations of medical supplies, most important, scholastic supplies, books, pens, paper, pencils, coloring books. We need it. We need it now. Simplest way to donate, you can go to my website, WeCanSaveChildren.org, social media, Facebook, go straight to WeCanSaveChildren.org. Let's all please come together and let's help Syria.
Our global mission is to protect the rights of children around the world, whether they are child slaves or trafficked, or if they are a casualty of war, becoming refugees, or one of the more than 250,000 Syrian child orphans. So please, help us save these children. Go to WeCanSaveChildren.org today and donate to the children of Syria. And from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you.
All right. Fascinating.
Well, that hit a somber tone.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
it needs to be told.
Yeah.
It needs to be told, and Samurai will be supporting. So chat, if you want to support, you know where to go. I put links in the description box below. But WeCanSaveChildren.org. Make sure you guys check it out and show support because it's needed. My parents were ministers in the Salvation Army, and we traveled several places. Nothing as extensive as Syria or anything like that, but we were out there in the Marshall Islands, And we were there in the Marshall Islands for a while, and it's just, I mean, it's not even close to what's going on with Syria. It's not even close.
Right.
But when we were there, there was a lot of poor, a lot of down and beaten down, people there, but and with food, and we were there helping distributing food and trying to help them out and stuff like that. But the people were wonderful. The people didn't let their situation get them down. They were wonderful singers. The children were great. And it's funny. It's like you come back to the States and then you just stop complaining. You just stop instantly. And this was when I was really young. I was a little samurai running around, and I instantly stopped complaining when I came back to the States after that.
Right.
And I was very thankful for what we have. But the whole Syria incident and what's going on over there is just like, man, just from watching the video and doing a little bit of research, it's heavy. It's heavy stuff. But
well, the interesting thing is about Syria. Obviously, they've dealt with the war that started in 11, so that's a decade of war. So you have a whole generation that have grown up knowing only war. That's all they've known.
Right.
Now, a decade on, is there still war going on? Yeah, in certain parts. There's war still in the north, bordering, Turkey. U.S. troops are still there. Russian troops are still there. ISIS is still around, But and I speak with colleagues in Syria at least a few times a week. But their situation, if you can believe this, they were better off when the war was in full swing than the way they are now because of the sanctions that's been placed upon the country. They have no gasoline for the cars. They have no propane to cook. They have maybe 2 hours of electricity per day if they're lucky. Forget about jobs, and of course the COVID situation has only magnified an already desperate situation. It's pretty awful. I mean, really awful. Yeah. So that for them to say, God, we were better before than now. Yeah, because at least before they could get access to eat, to food, to bread.
Right.
Now, no.
Yeah.
So,
well, again.
Anyway, yeah.
No, again, we really appreciate what you're doing, and Samurai is going to support. You got people in the chat showing support right now. Heather Love says, "Thank you, Sir Vincent, for helping these beautiful children."
You're welcome, Heather. Thank you. Yeah.
And again, mentioning and going back to your book of not being selfish in life. And being being thankful for what you have and reaching out to help those that are in need. It's something, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of been missing from my life. I've always wanted to do something and get back into something. I don't know what. On YouTube, I have fun talking about movies, but and everybody knows I'm a knucklehead, and that's why they tune in.
It's all right.
We just have fun. We just have fun here. That's the point of the channel, right? Is to have fun.
Of course.
But, in real life, I've always meant to seek out something because I used to, growing up with my parents, that's all we did was feed the homeless, help people, and try to get them clothing and stuff like that. And I've kind of, I didn't mean for this to get a little serious and
no,
it's not about me, but
it's okay.
I kind of felt a gap, kind of.
But that's a good
filled.
thing. But that's a good thing. Yeah.
So
it brings.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start with supporting your cause, of course. That's my way of doing it. But outside of that, let's see.
I think it brings to mind, just like the last chapter of this book, is the purpose of life is to have purpose.
Yeah.
And if your life doesn't have any purpose, and for me now, at this stage in my life, and certainly in the past 6 years, it's to give back. You know,
right.
I've been extremely fortunate. So people will say, God, with all the things you've done, yet you go to the most dangerous places in the world, when you could easily, like, you know, get killed, which I've come too close, really, for that to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the case of, you know, well, I do it because then so that other people don't have to go to these places. Maybe there's in some way that I might be somewhat addicted to it. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's something that I'm still working out all the time. What makes me want to go there? You know, Rick Myers.
It's your calling.
Yeah, it's my calling. Rick Myers said, because it's this kind of hero thing that I have as part of my character. And maybe he might be right about that, you know. He's right about a lot of things, so I'll give him that. Who knows? Yeah.
But again, you know, I'm gonna.
I always feel like I'm not doing enough. That's the thing.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
The Kung Fu Genius, your boy Alex here.
Oh,
a big hug to Vincent. He is the godfather of the youngest.
Rick, man. I mean, not Rick. Kung Fu Genius. Yeah. What's up, my man?
We keep missing each other this year. That's what he says.
Miss you. We keep missing each other. Last time we tried to get together was down in Florida, and we were supposed to go to the restaurant, and we ended up going to a different restaurant. So we will make sure we find a way.
Yeah. Maybe I can get both of you guys on here. We can chat here if needed. Go. Let's have a good time. But yeah, again, I think I said it like 10 times, but we appreciate. We appreciate all of the amazing entertainment that you've given us over the years, and we really appreciate what you're doing for those children and still fighting the good fight. And Samurai and the Movie Dojo Army will support you, my friend. And, hey, always make this your second home, my friend.
All right, that's it.
Come back at any time. Talk about anything. We won't talk about the movies that you weren't in that's on IMDb.
Well, it's so funny that, you know, Alex just, he very well knows because we had the same thing happen.
It's all good fun. Yeah, I guess it's about time. I could talk to you all day, my friend, but I know you're busy. But I guess it's about time to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you again, my friend. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll get you back here in the future. Chat, make sure you go out there and buy the books. Support the cause. It's very important.
Yeah.
And, again, congratulations on the song, too. Especially got a little bit of an award there. That's awesome. Look at that. Awesome.
Yeah, look at you. Man, you do your research.
Hey, thank you. Hey. That's right. Don't worry, I won't sing your song.
please don't. Let Melissa B do that. Yeah. Oof.
I don't want to botch the song though. Yeah, she kills it. So we will end before we end the stream with the song. Thanks everyone for watching today. We really appreciate you guys hanging out. Support Vincent Lyn's cause and his works. And just a quick segue. Don't forget Sunday. Hang out with me and martial artist stuntman director Kyle Wong and the cast of the Crow Night Watch short film. Going to be some exclusive behind-the-scenes awesomeness, some trailer reveals. That's going to be Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And also, you know Samurai didn't forget now. Come on now. It's Friday the 13th. So happy Friday the 13th, everybody watching. And speaking of that, don't forget to join us Monday we're going to talk about Jason X. Is it really that bad? We're going to talk about it on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, again, thank you, sir.
Thank you
for joining. We really appreciate it. And we will see you guys again next time. You guys take care. Have a good one. Enjoy life.
Thank you.
Do something good for someone.
Definitely.
It benefits everyone. And keep watching movies, especially Vincent's films.
Oh, thank you.
Take care, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you. See you later.
The time has come for everyone So look inside of your home. Don't run away from what's inside of you. Together we are stronger. The light of love shines in us all, reminding us who we are. Illuminate the very part in you that will outshine the darkness. The universe is out of time. A song of love for peace of mind. We are here, open up your heart as one. People united. Look at us, every one of us is drawn to love from within. Don't hesitate to let them know what's true, and love is worth believing. The light of love shines in us all, reminding us who we are. Illuminate the very part in you that will outshine the darkness. The universe is out of time. A song of love for peace of mind. We are here, open up your heart as one.